Tonight, the 11 Alive investigators uncover CDC employees claiming the same supervisor retaliated against them after filing discrimination complaints.
I think it makes the supervisors feel that they can continue this sort of behavior and they can continue to get away with it.
CDC leadership accused of keeping the problem secret.
I think it says they have something to hide.
The CDC employees say it is such a problem that they are willing to risk retaliation from the agency to expose it. 11 Alive investigator Andy Pierr is holding the agency accountable in our investigation, Diagnosing Discrimination.
Before most of us wake up, Corinne Arredondo has walked miles ahead of the sunrise.
And it takes me about an hour and 20 minutes.
The 59-year-old has no plans to slow down on the trail.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Or at work at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, where she's been since 1998. She's won multiple awards during her CDC career, and about 2 years ago, her supervisor recommended her for a promotion in human resources. Her director, Gerald Hughes, asked to meet.
At the end of the conversation, he told me he wanted to talk to me about something else. And he said, I see you can retire in 4 or 5 years. But I said, I don't plan to retire in 4 or 5 years. I plan to probably work another 7 or 8 years. Oh, no, I think you probably, I'll give you another 4 to 5 years.
Arredondo did not get the promotion. When she saw younger, less experienced colleagues advance, she filed a discrimination complaint against the CDC. She soon learned she wasn't the only employee stirring trouble with the complaint.
We have the same director.
Arredondo, Ann Hall, and Barbara Bragg are 3 of 4 CDC employees the 11 Alive investigators uncovered had filed age discrimination complaints against the same supervisor.
His solution to me with that was, well, maybe you should just go ahead and retire. And I said, no, that is not something I want to do right now.
It went like this. Well, when are you going to retire? Well, I don't know. Well, when do you plan to retire? And from there, it just kind of like went downhill.
After filing complaints, all of them saw their performance evaluations drop, which impacts their pay.
That sounds,
Yes.
This sounds like retaliation.
Yes.
These problems are occurring at the agency, but no one's doing anything about it.
Their former supervisor,
Well, I totally deny it.
Hughes, agreed to an interview.
I have never discriminated against anyone.
He claims the meetings were to discuss anything employees wanted to talk about, including benefits and retirement. We then let Hughes hear straight from his former employees.
And from there, it just kind of like went downhill.
They're all telling the same story, and I spoke to more over the phone. Are they all lying?
Well, I think what's happening is, again, I lay out options. And when I lay out options, again, I go as long as typically up to 65.
CDC leadership was warned about similar claims in the past. This 2016 diversity report claims agency leadership allowing managers to harass, bully, and retaliate against employees. And last year, the CDC conducted this study to find out what happens to employees after filing a discrimination complaint, looking into harassment, bullying, and discrimination. But when the 11 Alive investigators requested a copy of the study, which was presented at a conference, 18 pages were redacted, missing.
Here they are.
Oh, okay, everything is blank. That's interesting.
What do you think about that?
I think it's awful.
It is.
I think it says they have something to hide.
We hold ourselves accountable.
Reginald Maybane is director of CDC's Equal Employment Opportunity Office, in charge of investigating discrimination.
How important is transparency in government?
Transparency in government is very important.
We then asked Maybane
18 pages are missing.
about the redacted information.
Is that transparent to you?
I think when you ask for reports that are related to EEO information, we have to be very mindful and careful of the information that we release to ensure that we maintain privacy.
This is a study that was presented at a conference, a public conference, and you're not allowing us to see it. What are you hiding?
There's nothing that we're hiding, Andy.
Arredondo feels her old boss skirted accountability for his actions. Hughes retired a few months ago with full benefits. CDC employees frustrated with discrimination and inaction from leadership they believe could stop it.
Although some people might think I'm ready for retirement, I'm not ready for retirement.
Andy, after watching your series of reports, you wonder how the government will respond in terms of congressional members. The CDC sits in the 5th Congressional District of Congressman John Lewis. It would be very intriguing to hear what he has to say about all of this.
We've reached out to Congressman Lewis's office as well as other lawmakers that sit on committees that have some sort of oversight over the CDC. We will let you know if any action is taken.
Terrific reporting, Andy. Thanks.